Hi, I'm Shelby with Little Justice Leaders, and today we're going to be talking about why you should be concerned if your kids are going to school in states with content bans. Now, what's a content ban? Content bans are also sometimes called educational gag orders. They're the laws that we've been hearing about that are prohibiting public schools from talking to kids about things like race, gender, LGBTQ identities, and other aspects of history. So there's a lot of reasons to be concerned about this on a moral level, but there's also really good reasons to be concerned about this from a learning perspective for kids. So we're gonna talk through 5 reasons why you should be very concerned if your kids are in schools that are operating under these content bans or educational gag orders. So the first is that kids are going to have their ability to think critically stifled, because they're not going to be able to talk about really complex, difficult issues that are happening in the world. They're going to have a harder time developing critical thinking, especially when it comes to understanding the world around them. The second thing is it's going to limit their personal growth and development of empathy. So by learning about people and groups who are different from themselves, kids develop a strong sense of empathy and understanding for others. When they're not able to learn about those things, or at least not able to learn the real history about those issues, they're not going to have those opportunities to develop empathy and understanding for diversity. Next up, and maybe the most concerning for parents, is that this is going to foster ignorance and prejudice. When kids don't have the opportunity to learn about diverse communities around them, they're more likely to believe stereotypes and develop biases against groups of people. They're also less likely to really understand what's going on in history and how that's led to the society we have today. Because of this, they're not going to have as strong ability to understand what's going on around them, critically evaluate situations and arguments, and most importantly, develop an anti-bias lens. Last but not least, these content bans are stopping kids from learning about real-world experiences. When kids have the opportunity to learn about what's actually going on in the world around them, things that are relevant to them, they're much more engaged in their learning. So when kids can't learn about real-world issues and complex identity issues that are happening in the world, they're not going to be as engaged in learning, and they're going to miss out on that real-world relevance that schools should have. There are so many other issues with content bans and educational gag orders that I haven't even had the chance to get into here, but this is a starting point to think about the reasons why you might want to consider how you're supplementing your kids' education if they're going to a school that's stifling their learning by having a content ban. I hope that this was helpful and helped you understand why educational gag orders are such a problem for schools. And I hope you will follow along to learn more about how to supplement your kids' education at home and more about these educational gag orders that are really important for our kids' learning. So follow Little Justice Leaders and we'll provide tons of information on teaching your kids about social justice.